Right.
All right, cool.
Cool.
Hello everyone and welcome to day 5 of our craft beer advent calendar. I have my beer right here, so if you haven't unwrapped yours yet, you better pause this video because I'm about to spoil it for you. Alright, let's see what our day 5 beer is. It is the Brute Savage IPA from IPAs. This is a limited and seasonal release. And it is, I believe, the first time that IPAs has put any beer into a can. So that's quite amazing. To make things even better, today we have Michael Agar, who is the head brewer, on the phone to talk to us about his beer. How's it, Mike?
Very well. Nice to be here, Elaine.
Happy to have you.
Chat to your followers.
Yeah, chat to your followers. I think your following is probably one of the biggest craft followings in the country. So, Mike, I'm quite excited. I have had the pleasure of having this beer on tap before, which was quite amazing.
I've got the last can, by the way.
Oh, great.
It's the last can.
Excellent. I was actually...
It's a very poor yield in
really?
can.
Yeah, well, that's one of the questions I wanted to ask you was why did you decide to put it in a can?
Well, we wanted to differentiate between our core range, which is in bottle, and everyone else is doing can. It's trendy. It's the first time we've ever put a beer in can.
Yeah, wow.
And we've had quite a learning curve, so that's been nice. We did, however, find that because we wanted a nice sort of effervescent carbonation, that the canners battled to actually get that, and we got a very low yield, unfortunately, from the canning.
Wow.
So the last third of the batch, because this is a seasonal limited availability, we're going to do in bottle where we actually are going to get that champagne-like quality.
Nice.
Which we felt the can lacks a bit because they had to drop the carbonation to actually can it.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so when are you launching your bottled range then?
Well, the bottles are going out from Monday.
Oh, cool. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we literally finished the whole can stock this week, and from now on, anyone who buys a case will get it in bottle.
Fantastic. Okay, yeah, brilliant.
Quite excited about that because the bottles are going to be more representative of the style that we were hoping to achieve with it.
Yeah, and it feels more like Agars when it's in a bottle.
Yes, Agars is in glass.
Yeah, exactly. So, Mike, I don't know if maybe we should open the beer, have a little taste, and then talk about it.
Yes.
All right, let's do that.
Do that.
All right, cool. Let's do that. Okay, so I actually have my Agars glass.
Brilliant.
Yes, one of my favorites. All right, nice one.
Crash it in there. Right, nice head.
There we go. Perfect. All right, so this is the Brute Savage IPA from IPAs brewery. Wow. That actually smells great. As you're pouring it, you already start to smell.
Very different aromas to our core range IPAs, the Tomahawk and the Warrior. This is a departure from the American hops. And you're looking for a viniferous character, a very sort of winey, grapey feel. We've used we've used an Australian, but the prime hop was a New Zealand hop, Nelson Sauvin.
No.
So I've had a winemaker friend of mine suggest that it's got the smell of a Marlborough Sauvignon Blanc. So I don't know if you're picking that up.
Wow.
Hey, are you?
I actually drink a bit of wine, but there are people better placed than me to make that distinction.
It's different though to the citrusy, fruit salady, typical American hop flavors in a normal IPA.
Yeah, it actually does have more like of that mineral characteristic than and the fruitiness.
So you're going to find a very interesting mouthfeel now when you drink this beer, because the other thing is in getting this beer absolutely bone dry, which we were able to do through use of the glucose enzymes, which breaks the complex sugar strings in beer down to simple sugars, which allows the beer to get absolutely bone dry. So normal beer like our Josie Blonde would finish sort of 1.005 or 6. This has gone to 0.998 finishing gravity. So it's kind of, it goes lower than water. It's got a very interesting taste. So it has a weighty wine sort of.
I'm going to taste it.
Tasting.
Yeah, the finish is super dry. And it's not, it doesn't have that, doesn't have the same punch as those American hops. Like, it is much more refined, kind of a much more subtle flavor profile.
Yes. So we actually cut back on the dry hopping after we tasted the beer initially in the fermenter. We realized we had a delicate beer. So we cut back on the dry hopping so to not overwhelm the whole product. You know, it's kind of like, to me it is like a wine, and the carbonation, have you got enough carbonation in there? Is it fairly spritzy for you?
So, you know, it isn't super spritzy, and it does drink a little bit, like, obviously it is carbonated, but it does taste a little bit like wine, and so you kind of go like, it drinks a little bit like a spritzer.
Right.
Yeah. It's kind of confusing, but it's really subtle.
So remember, this was a beer style that's only just been invented. It was invented in California 2 or 3 years ago, and apparently it's taking America by storm, and there are quite a few examples now in South Africa, so we were quite excited to give this style a go. And in fact, I believe we were the first to trial Fermentus's yeast with the enzyme in the country.
Okay.
And what an amazing result, because, you know, typically we allow our fermentations to run as long as 14 days. This thing had fermented dry in 2 days. Boom.
Wow. What?
Yeah, so then we didn't know what to do with it. So we just left it anyway for another 8 days. Because I thought, what are we going to do? We can't take it out after 2 days.
Yeah. Wow. I know that on the can it says you've used Citra, but
it's very, very in the back. I think it's just there to balance the Australian Galaxy and the New Zealand Nelson Sauvignon, but definitely the Nelson Sauvignon the lead hop in those three and dominate.
You're right, and the words that I'm like reaching for in my mind are things like melon, things like grass, things like minerals, and I'm like, it sounds like I'm doing a wine tasting in my head.
I know. It's got quite a minerally mouth.
Yeah, no, it does. No, it does. That's quite amazing.
Well, when it goes out in the bottle, it's gonna be a little different because it is gonna have a higher carbonation, and it will look like champagne in the glass. Yeah, and I see you chugging it quite quickly because it's deceptive. It's you just keep wanting to actually have that next sip. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it is.
Cool. So, Mike, you decided to brew this beer. Why? Because you know the trend is kind of happening, and you wanted to trial the yeast, or?
I've got a mate, and he's on the can as well. Goodwill Brewery. He's a home brewer, so we collab, and we've been looking to launch a quarterly seasonal beer in can as something interesting and different to our core range. And we had trialed an IPA, and we've considered an English mild. These might be beers that are coming up in the future, by the way. And then all of a sudden, the two of us hit on this new beer, and we thought, well, let's give it a go. and we were able to get the Nelson Sauvignon hops. That and the fact that Bev Plus were able to bring in this yeast for us on a trial basis. So once we had those two ingredients, we were good to go.
Okay.
So we put in a trial batch, we over-hopped it. Because the beer is so dry, you've actually got to cut back on your bittering hops. So in actual fact, in this example, there are no hops in the bottle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's no hops in the bottle at all.
Wow.
All the hops are in the back end. And it's still quite bitter.
It's quite bitter. It is
There's
quite
no
bitter.
malt to balance any of the bittering hops.
Yeah. Will you do more collabs?
Yes, yeah, definitely. I definitely want to do one with Dark Arts down in Cape Town with Jake Sandenberg,
Yeah.
who was a brewer at Agars for nearly 2 years.
Really?
And I'm sure he and I are going to come up with something fantastic. So
Excellent.
I'm looking forward to that.
Excellent.
So how much have we got left there now? I see you.
I slowed down once you pointed out that I was chugging it.
No, just keep drinking it.
So listen, last thing before we end. I know you guys recently launched your online store. Very shortly, the Brute Savage will be sold out. But where can people go to buy your beer? And I know you also do those monthly Fridays or Saturdays.
So just to give a punt on that, our last Friday where you can take cases away. So
Okay.
Wednesday the 15th is our last open day. Our online store, we ship countrywide, so anyone in the country hearing this, we can get cases to you within 2 or 3 days. Even next day in Joburg. We also have, I know we're not talking about it now, but we do still have some stock of our Imperial Port Barrel Aged Stout.
Excellent.
And that's well worth the taste, sure. But be prepared to put that down.
Yeah.
It needs to go another year or two.
Yeah. That's
So
the trick. That's the trick. Well, thanks, Mark. Looking forward to your other seasonals and your other collabs. It's going to be awesome. And I haven't tasted your Imperial.
Yes, because you put it away.
I've
right?
put them away, but I feel like I need to have one just to end the year, you know?
Right, well, we'll allow you one of them.
Thank you. Very generous. Cool.
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 Thanks, Elaine.
Thank you. Cheers, man.
Okay, cheers.
Bye,
I'm
Mark.
just gonna hit